paranoid. You know what's going down. You know what's going down. All right.
So I told the dude, I was like, listen, man, if you come back around here one more time, it's going to be your ass. Oh, we're on right now? Oh, man. Good Lord. Yes. I didn't even realize that. Yes, CLTFC Fan TV, for the fans, by the fans, damn it. I'm JT, and my boy Lee said, JT, you got to bring some energy tonight. And I said, Lee, I'm going on vacation tomorrow for 4 days. Without my kids for the first time before the vids. So I am feeling great. And of course, we have Brian Bauer coming in. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for helping out on the watch along. And
it was my pleasure.
Talk about energy. I mean, come on, man. We're back in it. We got a chance. We got a chance.
100%. We doubled up. We doubled up our chances, man.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, from 2% to 4%.
I know, right? 2 to 4. Hey, it's something. So you're telling me we got a chance?
That's it. What we need is my buddy Mendoza to go drop $100 on Charlotte making the playoffs, man. Because every time he bets on us, we seem to do okay. So
nice. I like it.
If you're out there, man, we're gonna have to get you to go bet for us.
Hey, that reminds me real quick before we get into anything else. What was one of the favorite things for y'all doing the watch along on Saturday and it being a win, if not the best win of the entire season? Unexpected, down 2-0 in the 66th minute. I come on, obviously, and I'm the good luck charm. Everyone, you're welcome. But nonetheless, I was shocked to see what the final was. And how much fun was it to be experiencing it with everybody else?
Yeah. Well,
Brian, first, I'll let you go, man. I'll let you go, Brian.
You were drinking Blue Moons for Blue Crown Goals, baby. So, yeah. So I think it was just seeing. This is my first time on the watch along, but kind of seeing the moroseness at halftime, like kind of the lows. Lee taking a break, me trying to talk to the fans a little bit, and we're trying to figure out what to do, what's going on. Seeing chances go missing again, and still a time when we could have been 2-2 or down 2-0, and then just seeing the change in the reactions, the posts, people watching from, Ireland, I think was one place, and then from the stadium in Chicago, people reaching out on the show, looking for other people who are in Chicago at the game.
That is so cool, man. There were people in the stadium live.
Yeah,
and then I gotta think that the person in Ireland.
Yeah, it was Austin from 40 Thieves. He was over there on vacation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
he tuned in because he couldn't get the stream or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. What about Lee? What did you enjoy about it? Besides besides what was on the pitch. Sharing the experience of watching the live stream.
It's always the highs and lows, right? It was we were down. It was like, God, we're missing the easy sitters, man. We're out of it. Can't believe we're losing to Chicago. We're on the road 2-0 down. Like this just ain't gonna work, man. And then for the boys to come back and win 3-2, it was a lot of fun. And I think the funniest part for me was when I clipped, and I should have clipped it for the show, but when I clipped out when me and Brian were celebrating, because at first they hit the crossbar,
right?
And I was like, oh shit, right? And then Carroll takes the shot and he kicks it against somebody, and it was just a scramble in the box, and then he scored, dude. It was, if I had beer, I would have thrown it on myself.
Yeah. Every highlight I've heard of it from the official broadcast or whatever, it was definitely in watching, I saw the end, was the pinball effect. The ding, 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 ding. And then you're like, what? Yeah. And then that damn ref kept it going until 100 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a mess, man. It was a mess.
Rigged.
Yes, rigged. Talking about rigged tonight, our friend Adam with Defend the Queen is doing another giveaway for us. Dealer's Choice yet again. With the news coming out today about the tickets renewal. So if you haven't seen that, go check your emails, check Twitter for all the comments and Facebook for all the comments on that. But to enter our drawing tonight, it's #tickets. So that will get you entered into the drawing. So #tickets. And no, our drawings are never rigged, because I never win. So It is what it is, man.
You win every day we're on, Lee. Let me get this right real quick. Come on.
That's it. That's it. But yeah, so appreciate you, Adam. And if you you don't follow him, I haven't seen his work, Defend the Queen on Instagram, and follow Adam Phillips, I believe, on Facebook. And
let me give a big ups, old school. Let me give a big ups to Adam, because I had to get my boy, my 7-year-old boy. We had some hand-me-down cleats, man. And not only did like the sole come off, but the sole itself broke and fell off. So it was like, these are done. But right now is the hardest time to find cleats, especially in a size 1. So I hit up my thrift stores. I hit up Play Again Sports. I hit up all of it. I went to Dick's, and man, I was like, I ain't paying $89 for some 1-year-old cleats or one size cleats for a 7-year-old. I went to the soccer store there in Pineville, and they didn't have anything brand new, but they did have one thing that had come back. I got those. But in that soccer store, and I'm sorry, I forget the name of it. It's one of the major ones. Someone help me out. I know y'all know.
help us out.
But anyway, they have a whole CLTFC set up in there. And I was looking around. I was like, oh, shit, that's Adam's stuff. And I sent you a text just to make sure, because Adam, I had never really paid attention to your logo. I guess it's an A and a P or whatever. Anyway, you have like 4. They took your stuff, bought your stuff, I'm assuming, and they had it all over the place. And that one of Jalen Lindsay just smiling and laughing it's awesome. So to see, I was like, man, small world. I love the community stuff, and to see that in there, and then tell the dude checking me out on these barely used cleats. I was like, does it have a box? He's like, there ain't no box. I was like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. They're size 1.5. Okay.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, man, CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans, damn it. He's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
So,
I believe it's soccer, right? Was that where you were at?
It's that little place right there by the Carolina Place Mall in the corner.
Adam, hook us up, man. And JT, what's up with this, man?
What? We chat every time you walk by me, but you never bring me a beer. Bring you a beer? I'm the one walking around. Hey, listen, when I come by 252 the next time.
Yeah.
Love you, Kevin. When I come by 252, it better be like a relay, like a marathon. There better be a beer waiting for me to keep on going around. Just keep me moving.
Yep. Soccer shop. That's where you're at.
Soccer shop. Soccer shop.
There you go.
So big ups to Soccer Shop. Big ups to someone giving me a beer as I'm walking around.
That's it.
And big ups to Adam.
Yep. And hashtag tickets if you want Adam's work or a chance to win a part of Adam's work tonight. So, man, let's get into it. The game. 3-2. Man, what a game. On the road, 2-0 down at halftime. We were pretty much I pretty much gave up, to be honest with you, Brian. I was trying to keep it going, but I couldn't. But then here we are, man. Tell me about it, Brian. Tell me what happened in this game.
Yeah, man, I think so. What was so frustrating for me, especially about the first half, was that we really could have been more in it than down 2-0. Like we should have been minimum. Swiderski should have scored on that like immediate response. It was the perfect response to giving up the goal, right? And then Jones's header, obviously you would like it to go in. I mean, and it definitely could have, but it was just, I mean, I would say somewhat unfortunate. It hits the bar. He plays that perfect, but like the Swiderski one has to go in. Like that has to go in. And so, and that could have changed everything there because it would have been like an immediate response, 1-1. Like you never know what happens after that.
Yeah.
Whereas they were able to play more freely. They played a ridiculous ball on the second one. But I think going into halftime, it wasn't even so much. It was disheartening because it had been like, man, this is happening again. Where we're like, we didn't take our chances, and it seems like Chicago had a few, but like nowhere near as clean as we did, and they took 2 of theirs. Yeah. And so that was where I was at half. And then to see the second half come in and just finally start firing on all cylinders.
A quick question. I'm sorry to interrupt, Brian, but a quick question. Did it seem like in the first half that they didn't have the legs or the energy, and everyone was thinking Chicago, because they played midweek, wasn't going to have the energy? That's why I just remembered when I saw the score, I was like, hold on. Chicago's outrunning us, out hustling us?
It wasn't really though.
It was that. I don't know. I didn't watch it, so it wasn't. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I think for large stretches of the game, Charlotte was better than Chicago, even in the first half. I think it was literally like fortune was again favoring the opposition, and because of Charlotte's consistent lack of ability to take their chances when they have them, which has been the issue pretty much all year. Like we've had chances, and they just don't take them often enough when they're there. Especially like the Swiderski one was. That was probably the easiest. That was up there with when Bender scored against Seattle. Like it was an open net sitter and he missed. And so
that was two he could have had, right? There was one across the face of the goal. All you had to do was touch it and it would have gone in, man. And then obviously the one that we're talking about.
Yep. So I think it was just more. Our chances just weren't going in, and Chicago took both of theirs really. Pretty well. We could have defended the first one better. I think we were sitting way too deep, but
yeah. So Esteban, welcome to the show. Appreciate it. Esteban hung out with us too. We hung out during the game. I'm really starting to believe this guy is a COT FC fan. I bet you if we bump into him, he's probably wearing our gear. He at least sleeps in our jersey. I know that much.
Yeah, right.
I know. Yeah. So he come in rough with some feathers, man. Got blocked by a couple of people. But yeah, the lineup, right?
Yep.
Some people are saying, right here, right? The starting 11 wasn't right. The subs were the huge difference, right? So that goes back to that sort of Andre starting. Why is he not starting? Sort of argument that's been, I wouldn't say argument, right? Discussion that's been going on. And so, what do you think about that, Brian?
I think I would give him credit. He showed some physicality, but like whenever he had the ball in the final third, especially when he was in one-on-one situations, and when I rewatched it, the Chicago commentators are actually talking about how that center back he was going up against on the right side, that was his debut.
Right.
So,
really?
Yeah, I guess so. His name was like Burks or Burns or something.
Yeah.
So I was actually a little bit more disheartened after knowing that. Like we should have really been queuing in on that side and pushing the pace over there.
Yeah.
And the fact that Shinyashiki, who was on that side, wasn't doing that a whole lot. He was being physical and trying and giving it his all, but like it's just, you can just tell there's a lack of technicality that some of the other wingers that we have possess, and then physical attributes that they possess that he just doesn't have in the same way.
Could it have been that he was just rusty for not playing for a minute?
I'd say you could say that, but like he's come off the bench and scored before. So, so how much could it be? He's done that 3 times. So I feel like maybe we could say it's rust, and I think it's also just like
bit of pressure, maybe.
Pressure.
Like feeling like he's got to prove himself now. Here's his chance to start. The fans have been saying, why is he not starting? And then we start him, and it's just like, now I got to prove myself.
Yeah. But, I think, there was a time when he had the ball near the top of the box, and we've seen him take this shot before, and he passed it up, and he had some space. And so there was maybe even a little tentativeness there. It definitely didn't seem like he was on. And you could tell as soon as Gaines and Alcivar came in I was super surprised Alcivar was the sub there. But apparently they all trained really hard this past week, like Alcivar included. And so, it made a huge difference. You can tell. And so I think that's where Lattanzio deserves a lot of credit. Like when he gets these guys to push themselves, you can see the results. Alcivar looked great too.
Gaines looked good.
Gaines looked.
If it wasn't for Gaines, man, we wouldn't have been pulled back. And to find out he's a Spurs fan too, man, it just
really?
I believe Gaines might be my favorite player now on the team.
Hopping on the roller coaster of Gaines, and that might be falling off.
All right, you're still strapped in.
So, sure. He was involved in all 3 goals, right? He got the assist in the second one, but he was the one that got in behind for the first and set up the cross to Rios that led to the corner that led to the goal. And then he also had the shot. He was the one in the box that got the ball received for the third, and he
was unlucky not to score.
Yeah.
It was unlucky not to score. That would have capped it off. I think that would have given him man of the match.
Oh, for sure. You would have to.
Adam, you should, man. You should paint a Gaines. I think that's who you do next, man. That's it.
Paint a Gaines.
Talking about bandwagon, right? This is a free season, right? Once our very last game this season's over, then you can't then we can be the bandwagons, right? So this year, Sean, I'm gonna just say like it's still open. So Esteban, you come on over, man. Buy your Charlotte gear, get you some tickets, and
buy more Charlotte gear.
buy more Charlotte gear.
Esteban.
Yeah.
He's like
That is your real name.
C jerseys, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
Hiding them.
Yeah.
he's like a 55-year-old white dude in
Probably.
Nightingale.
No, it's David Tepper.
His initials are S and then T and then like Bond. I don't know what Bond is, but nonetheless.
Yeah, no, it's really David Tepper, man. That's David Tepper's.
You talking about DT?
Miami
Instead of ST, it's DT.
Yeah, it's his burner account, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. But you know, to see him come back and dig in, you know, because you know we haven't been very good on the road, right? Most of our wins have been at home, and when we went 2-0 down, man, it was a hard pill to swallow for sure, man. I could.
Would y'all say that was, besides ones you've been there live to see and feel the energy thereof? I don't know. Was that the best game, the most exciting? I mean, to give us a little bit more of a chance, and we had to have it, or we were completely dead. And the way we came back so late, would you say it was the best game all season from like an entertainment, a soccer fan point of view?
It was definitely the second half for sure, right? You know, but you know, a lot of people have been bitching about Carroll the way he's always kind of huffing and puffing and bitching and moaning about the play. But
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, but if you'd watch this game, he did it still, but you totally understood why he was doing it, right? Yeah. I mean, like
he's giving the ref hell.
Yeah, and that's why he got that yellow card on that VAR, right?
Give him hell in Polish, probably.
Because there was no way that wasn't a goal, man.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Ronico didn't foul that guy at all, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be like biased here just because it was Charlotte, but to me, it was just a coming together. And you know, it was a thing, man. Go ahead, Brian. So, what you thinking?
I mean, about which
just part? Like the Carroll and the way he was like playing and the way like. You know, I guess what I'm getting at is like he was still the same Carroll, but he was just scoring, right? And
they were going in the net. Even in the first half, he was the old Carroll, but by the he was the new Carroll.
You could kind of see his hustle, and then he was dropping in, and he was making the plays, and he was just like he earned that DP title, like
for sure. I mean, I think he was starting to do that even before this game, but I think. This game, I mean, he was the player of the week in all of MLS, right? Voted by the league and the fans of the league, not just Charlotte fans, right? So he's starting to get recognition as a DP should, right? Not because DPs shouldn't stand out just for the fan base. Like a player like Mackenzie Gaines, like when we drafted him, Austin fans were pissed, but like nobody else is going to know who he is. And then like if you were to get picked up in the expansion draft, I think Charlotte fans at this point would also be frustrated. But like DPs are responsible for getting the MLS recognition, the league recognition, right? They're supposed to be the stars of this league. And so having those goals go in, having him be able to finish the job and be that kind of leading from the front character, which is also, I think, DP
too, right? He was the captain too.
Was he a captain again?
Yeah, he was.
He was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was that his first time, or was it last game?
Yes, his first time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he might be able to keep the armband for at least the remainder of the season, given that kind of performance and circumstance. I would imagine so. It was super clutch.
Did he play back like he did last game more in like the 9, feeding in and then taking his chances to come up?
Yeah, until the end, and then they switched and had Nuno Santos come in as a midfield. So they had the midfield pretty much completely changed by the end. It was Jones, Alcivar, and Santos, because Alcivar and Santos both came in as subs. And then at that point, Swiderski moved up to the striker position, and that was when 2 more goals went in. So it was already 2-1, I think, at that point. And then they brought in Santos to try to bring in another offensive threat. And that also worked as he scored too.
But I was going to say, to diverge Santos, I mean, what's the background on him? Is this the first time we've seen him play?
I think it's like the second or third.
When you said earlier,
he was on for like 10 minutes in Cincinnati, I believe, 10 or 15 minutes.
He's one of the latest additions.
Yep. Yeah, and he looked solid. There was also, besides the goal he scored, which is just it goes back to his more aggressive style that I think we're lacking, especially in the midfield, of just like, because he said he like saw that opportunity coming from deep and saw that Gaines was going to get to the ball and just knew where he needed to be to make that happen. And I think that's the type of midfielder that we've been really lacking. It's just somebody who's aggressive. He's also really like, and he also was willing to carry the ball up a lot and just be like, I have the ball, I'm just going to go and see what happens. And I think that's another thing that in the midfield we're lacking a lot. We don't have a lot of players that'll just take the ball up the field and see what putting a little bit of pressure with that kind of dribbling ability and just carrying the ball forward, seeing what kind of pressure that puts on the defense and see how they respond, because that's sometimes when gaps open up. And so he's just willing to do those things. He also put in a really nice chip ball over the top of the box that just, I mean, didn't end up turning into anything, but it was like a really slick flick to try to get, I think it was I think it might've been Reina in Angola or something, but I mean, he's creative. He's got a lot of those other sparks that are going to be really helpful in our midfield.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Brian Moore bringing you some heat.
That's
He's talking about slick flicks, man. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was a slick flick.
So a couple of things. If you don't wear your jersey and scarf on game days for the rest of the season, man, we're all coming to hunt you down, buddy. And want to give a quick shout out to my favorite Guzman, man. Happy birthday to you, Jonathan, man. Appreciate you. Yep. And
happy birthday, Guzman.
Yeah. And like Adam says, giving Carroll the armband with Bronico on the pitch, that was kind of surprising, man, but hey, man, it worked, right? So and then bam, right? And then I think, as everybody says, and I think we all agree, right, Jones is getting better and better, so it's going to be interesting to see what we do with him at the end of the year for sure. And no, you haven't missed the conversation about ticket renewals yet. We'll do that towards the end of the show because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation in the chats for sure. And talking about tickets, if you want to enter tonight's drawing, #tickets, and that will get you in for and challenge accepted. Yeah, man. So, I mean, overall, I think Carroll was the definitely the man of the match, right? I mean, I think if Gaines had scored, I would have given it to him just because the way he hustled for that first goal. I mean, at the beginning of the season, nobody was chasing those kind of balls down, man, right? They were just letting it go out. There was nothing there, but like he just ran on it and crossed it in, and bam, we got a goal, man. And then it just definitely pulled us into contention to play. And then when we went 2-1, you could just feel the momentum shifting, man.
Question. Do you think, from Brian's earlier point about the midfield so far this season hasn't really just been pushing it up, just go, and you just saying the thing, Lee, about them not chasing balls down, even if there's a minute chance they'll get whatever, just hustling that hard. Do you think any of that is remnants of Mars' system of always just kind of play it back, and then when there's a chance, go, instead of just whatever? Do you think there are any remnants of what they were trained to do earlier in the season that now is finally getting
out of
the system?
I mean, to kind of answer Adam's question, right? It was really close to going out for a goal kick. The guys just seem, I don't know, to me, seem to be bitter. Maybe it's just because it's later in the season and there's been more practice and that sort of thing. But, I definitely – there's definitely more hustle in the team, right? At least this game that you could see the grit, right? They wanted it, man. They wanted it. And, man, it was there. And then we took it. And then we were unlucky to be 2-0 down at halftime. But
yeah, I definitely think there's an element that is a cultural thing. I think they still are lacking some of the personnel needed to kind of really continue finding the players to drive the ball forward in more aggressive ways. But I do think there's an element of it that's absolutely a cultural thing too, which is, that's one of the main points that the players made, the organization made in terms of making that switch, was like, we need more intensity. And it's really rare to see that being something that players are going to talk about. So I think that's why it was such a serious issue. Actually, ESPN commentator had mentioned that too. Alejandro Moreno mentioned it because he's like, when I was a player, we would never bring up wanting to train harder. Like, that's not a thing that happens. And so the fact that was something that players brought up means that there was some serious lack of intensity. Because players aren't going to ask to work harder. probably supposed to.
It sounded like when Mars was in charge, there wasn't much training at all. It was more looking at the iPad and figuring out what the hell is going on, right?
Yeah. So I think that cultural change for sure.
Yeah. What you gonna say, JT?
You damn right.
That's it. But yeah, man. So I mean, 3-2. Our percentage go from to the playoffs went from 2%, 4%. That's 100% improvement, man. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
You're good with numbers, man. From 2 to 4, I would have thought it was 2% improvement.
Yeah. That's 100% improvement. I mean, if we're talking about averages, that's it, right?
I know.
Yeah.
And I tell you one thing, and I don't want to change it to the next subject that quickly, but I'm looking forward to this momentum we have and the spirit we have for Philly. Now we got this big break.
Yeah, that's what we're worried about, I think.
But at the same time, I don't know, man. I think in if it wasn't for the rained out Columbus game, October 1st would be the last game of the season of our inaugural season. And I think it's going to be nuts there on Saturday. And now that we have something 4% to 6, 7%, whatever it would be to play for, you tell me we got a chance? Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Where was he?
Wait, man. I'm bringing old Legger McGregor back with me. I'm ready to throw down, man. Ginger Prince is going to be on the scene.
Yeah. But you know what, though, man? It was just good to see them guys fight, man. The results keep going our way, right? I know Miami, they got a decent result, right? So, I mean, but still, I mean, it didn't really put them – the points total, and I think what the games won is definitely in our favor there. So, we just need – and then Miami's going to Canada for 2 away games with Orlando in the middle of that, right? They got Toronto away, Orlando at home, and then Montreal away, I believe is the order. And so they got 2 Canadian games, right? And Montreal is going to be a tough game for them, man. And Toronto's not an easy team at home to push around either, right?
No, they're fired up.
Yeah, and I'm sure Orlando is going to come in and kind of wreck Miami's chances, right, as well. So, there's a good chance that Columbus game, man, it could really come down to that.
I was going to say, can you imagine? That's a fun thought.
Yeah.
That makeup starts in the 14th minute?
16th minute, something
so weird as hell to me that they're like, hey, we're calling the game, and we're going to start right where we stopped. It's like, come on, man, just play a full 90. But whatever.
Yeah.
So be it. But, man, if and when that game means us getting the playoffs or not on inaugural season, that would be bad ass.
Well, even the Philly game, they're opening up the top bowl, right? And if you don't already know, if you go out and sign up, there's something on the website. You sign up with Academy Sports to sign up for some text. I believe you can get 2 free tickets. So,
definitely
it's
try to pack it.
They're doing a whole fan appreciation thing too.
On the 28th, next Wednesday.
They're doing the fan zone for and the only time they did it before that I remember. Pretty sure it's the only time they did it. They had the fan zone set up where we always film everyone right after the games. CLTFC Fan TV right out there. Interview, come talk to us where the big LED screen is, Eastgate. Anyway, they had that whole part set up right there, and it got rained out. Or at least it got rained out, part of it.
Oh, so
they're doing it again. They're doing a whole – because this is supposed to be the end of the season. Oh, shit, we've been burying the lead. It's the blackout too, right?
Yep.
Every single person, that usually means it's something on the seat.
Yeah.
As in they're not handing it out, no vouchers, nothing like that. They really want everyone to be. So if you don't want to put on the large shirt, because they usually gave everyone the same size, then wear black. But the idea is it's going to be a blackout, and everyone's getting a free shirt, free. And they should be on our seats. So, I totally forgot about that.
Well, you know what's going to happen, though, man. In the supporters section, you're going to show up, your seats are all going to be gone, man. It's
and then some dude's going to be on Facebook and selling inaugural shirt.
I'll trade you for a bobblehead doll, man. Get the fuck out
looking for my kids' cleats today. I rolled up to a thrift store, right? This is down Valentine. I roll in there. I'm looking around, didn't find any cleats. So I'm going to check out some other shit. I'm looking around, and I could just see the logo because I'm so used to seeing the logo. Yeah. And then I saw this one, and it was a bobblehead box. I was like, some rich person down at Valentine didn't know, doesn't care. I go up, and of course it's empty as fuck. Nothing in there, man. I was like, damn it. I probably should have bought the box. I should have bought the box for like $5. But no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I got it covered, man.
Yeah. But that's right. This Saturday they have an event at Patterson Farm. It's the COT logo corn maze. Right. Is mellow, right?
and Bridget, I think if you're a season ticket holder or whatever, you get to do the corn maze for free, whatever it is, but you just have to apply for it or something like that. And,
yeah. Hey, appreciate that, Kansas, man. Yeah, hit the sub button, like button if you're already subbed, man. Just tell all your friends about us. That's all we ask, and we hope to step it up a little more next season, man. We got some ideas cooking, man. We got some
TV coming.
Yeah, that's it. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, do we want to touch on the Philly game? I think we should, Brian. I feel like you kind of prepared yourself for last night, and with Top Ben going on about all his teams he supports, or actually he doesn't support any team apparently.
Who are you talking about?
Top Ben.
Who's that?
He's this guy that we knew way back, man. And then, Brian took over and started running the show at Top Ben. So, yeah, I mean, the guy basically said he doesn't support anybody. He just follows them, right? And
the best was when we first met Top Ben back in the day, about 2 years ago now. Lee was straight calling him George the whole time, man. I was like, Lee, I think it's Jorge, man.
Man, everybody's name. That's why he got the nickname that I just call him Top Ben now, because it's easy, right? It's like my dumb ignorance in English. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Trust me, I would love for this to happen. If you're a drunk gal that's after the game and you want to come hang out and talk to us, man, that's perfect. Yeah, the drunker the better. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saving some choice content for after the season's over. Just putting stuff out there. I've probably been making editing notes on some entertaining clips.
We got some good footage, man. That's a good montage, man.
Interview bloopers.
Dude, we got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to sit down and go over that with you, JT. That's
awesome.
Yeah, so Brian, man, hit Philly, right? This is going to be the big game. I think this is one that's going to really obviously, if we don't win, we're probably out of the playoffs. Yeah. Either that or we go down to like 0.75% or whatever, right? But yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try to pack out the stadium, like JT said. You get everybody wear black, or they're giving out black shirts. Right, I'll probably just wear my black mint shirt. But yeah, and my shoes. That way, I can make sure I can see where I'm going since it's so bright, right? So,
whatever, man. It's straight ice.
Yeah, Girls Gone Wild FC. Yeah, Girls Gone Wild Fan TV, man. There we go, man.
Dude, I actually own a piece of video equipment that was used, swear to God, that was used on Girls Gone Wild. So I have a touchstone to Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah, that's it. That's funny. Yeah. Tyler, we're going to get to the tickets next, man. So, yeah. But, yeah, go ahead, Brian. Like Philly, right? This is obviously, like I said, it's going to be the big game. Unfortunately, in my opinion, we got a break. I feel like we could have brought that momentum with us, especially, coming on, being at home against them. What's your thoughts, man?
So I think the break, maybe it stymies the momentum a little bit. As long as Poland doesn't overplay Carroll, that's definitely something I'm planning on keeping an eye on, is making sure they don't because they're going to play him. All the international teams are going to be playing. They're close to their starting lineups that they're going to plan on going with in the World Cup. And so he's probably going to play close to a full game at least once. And so I am hoping that they don't overwork him there.
Yeah.
But then I think there also is a decent chance that a lot of our guys come back rested, which could give them, since we have 3 games in a week, coming back a little bit rested, and we can really just, in Latanzo, just have free reign to really go guns blazing, go with his whatever he feels like is the strongest team in that circumstance. And I think it's going to be big, especially for Philadelphia, because they're going to be pressing a lot. They're one of the highest pressing teams besides New York.
Yeah.
We beat at home.
New York FC or
both.
Yeah.
Sorry, Red Bulls. But Philly is more comparable to the Red Bulls in terms of they don't really possess the ball a whole lot, and they love to press and counter. And I think at home that actually plays into Charlotte's hands because they're more fired up. They're more motivated, and it's going to be easier for them to keep possession of the ball because that's kind of how Philly wants to play. They want us to have the ball in our own half, and then they want to press and take that ball from us in our own half. And so what Charlotte's going to be able to do is have the ball, and if they can run with it, they're going to be able to control the game however they'd like. It's going to be, I would say, way harder with Philly because, I mean, Philadelphia haven't lost since like mid-August. Like they're five wins, 1 draw in their last.
You know what, though? We always break streaks, right? Normally it's the teams haven't won and then they beat us. You know, and then normally when we go down, we lose on the road, and we came back 3-2. So as the tide finally turned, and we're gonna beat Philly and break that damn streak.
Damn right
we are, man.
Hey! What I'm saying too, though, is how's the defense looking without Fuchs, and how did it play in the game, our last game against Chicago, and how do we think if they're always trying to counter? They're like, hey, you bring your stuff, have your possession, bring it to us, and then when we get a chance, we're coming on your ass. How's our defense looking?
So I think this is where Malanda is going to need to have like a real class game for 2 reasons. One, because his composure defensively is just going to be key. Right now, I say Philadelphia might have the best striking duo in the league. They're playing really well. Michael Ure and Julian Carranza. They've accounted for 9 goals and 4 assists in the last 6 games. Yeah. So they're scoring a lot. They're involved in a ton of goals. The whole team is scoring. They've got like 23 goals in those 6 games that they have since they've lost their last loss, and only 2 against. So they're absolutely dominating teams right now by like 4, 5, 6 goals. So Milanda's going to need a huge game.
And also for his composure. Big money.
Huh?
And by not spending big money.
Yeah, they haven't spent big money. Yeah, Philadelphia is like really well known for spending very little money and just growing their academy like crazy. But the other thing Milan is going to be really important for is because Philly's going to be pressing high, we're going to need composure on the ball. And Milanda is just so, I don't know, it's just crazy how young a player he is and how composed and calm he is with the ball. It's just like a wave of calmness whenever he's on the ball that he's just super calm with it. Pat makes good decisions with it. And so that's going to be key because Philadelphia counts on opposition making mistakes when they're in possession of the ball. That's the name to their game. So if Milanda can also be a big factor in controlling the ball when we have it and playing the right passes out of the back. And I think with how Philly presses high, I'm really interested. I don't think Gaines and Milanda have started together yet.
Gaines and Milanda?
I don't think because I think when Milanda came in, Gaines got that high ankle sprain. So I don't think they've started.
Right.
I think it would be really interesting to see with how well Milanda makes those long through balls with a guy like Gaines who's got wicked pace. I would really love to see what that kind of looks like, especially when Philly's going to press up high on us. That over-the-top ball will absolutely be there. And so I would be really interested to see if Milanda Gaines connection.
Question that. Go ahead.
Would that be? I'm sorry, but would that be called a counter press? So they're pressing on us. We stop it, and then Milanda puts it over to Gaines, going full speed. It's like, oh, you want to press on us? Well, check this out, bitches.
Yeah. So it's kind of I wouldn't call it. So counter pressing is more when you have the ball, you lose the ball, and then you quickly press against your opponent to try to get the ball back. So you're countering the loss of possession by pressing them. I would call that just more playing the long ball, playing over the top, because what they're doing when they're pressing, especially if they're pressing when we have the ball in our own half, they're bringing their defensive line up really high. So that means that it opens up a lot of space in behind, sort of like how Gaines got that ball on his assist this last game. And I think that space is going to be there, and that sets up perfectly for Gaines.
I want to go back and talk about our defense, man. Are you more worried about Milanda's the way he's going to play or Walks?
Walks. Yeah. I'm way more worried about Walks.
Yeah.
Milanda's already getting attention from like MLS technical staff, like outside of Charlotte. So Tom Bogert just released an article either today or yesterday because they did the 22 under 22 that Bender made it on. Props to Bender for making it on that list. Yep. But they also did Bogert interviewed a bunch of technical staff from MLS, just staff all over the league. and Melando was already getting noticed. They're like, he should have been on that list, and he'd only played he started like 3 games, and they were already saying he's one of the best under 22-year-olds in the whole league.
Yeah.
So I mean,
size too, though, right? I mean, he's so big.
Yeah.
I mean, he's athletic.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't look like the rest of them, and he's just that size.
And he on corner kicks, both defensively and offensively, he gets his head on the ball constantly. It's just
he's always in the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah.
I think the only time I saw him was when that one goal happened back when he first started. I think it was right when he first played for us. But to Patrick's point or comment, the problem with Fuchs here is that Fuchs probably is not going to play until the last game of the season, if he even plays at all, right? I mean, if we're on a winning roll and the way that Lattanzio seems to keep things right the same after a win, it'd be interesting to see what he does. So, yeah.
I wish Carujo was still there, though.
Yeah, Carujo would be I think pretty clutch because Charlotte's gonna make some mistakes, right? I mean, we make some errors pretty much every game, passing out of the back, especially. And when teams press us, there's definitely situations where we're not quick enough on the ball or making the right decisions quick enough. And I think it's also a situation where Kalina, I mean, he made a big mistake against Philly the last time we played them, and we gave up a goal early to kind of put the game out of reach the last time, down 2-0. So I think a guy like Carujo would have been key because he can just put out those fires so well. Walks is going to have to be able to help out and do that. I mean, we'll see if he can, but I think this is a really awesome. I mean, Melando already shown by getting the man of the match last home game, but I think this is a huge match for Melando.
Yeah, I think the only problem in that back line is we probably need a new left back, and I'm sure that's going to come in the offseason, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just real quick, I just got to post these up, man. I don't know, Coach Pat, he's going off about like the prices for concessions and stuff like that. And then it gets even better, right? He's like, I can get a better hot dog at QT. And then he's like, I mean, who eats nachos and white cheese? What the fuck, right? And he admits he's hungry. So, Coach, man, go grab you some food, bro. Get you some snacks and come on back, man. We'll wait on you. But yeah, I mean, to going back to Melando, right? I mean, he was unlucky, right? He almost scored against New York, right? I mean, he hit the crossbar. I mean, yeah, it rhymes with bait. All right, I'll remember that. I'm just going to call you Coach. I screw everybody's names up, right? So if I get your name right, that means I probably don't.
I thought you called coaches gaffers.
Well,
so
no.
Is it Gaffer Pate? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's preaching about some food. Anyways, but yeah, back to like I just think Melanda is going to be hard to know. I think once his contract's up or he's getting close to more than likely if he keeps this up, he's going to be sold on, and that's going to be the model that we kind of said we were going to approach anyways, right? Sell on players and
it's going to be the model of MLS. I mean, it's not going to be really a choice. I mean, all the player and roster incentives are geared towards doing that, but it could easily be a huge whatever Mamadou Fall for LAFC, their young defender, I think he's going to pave the way for kind of the price range of what Melando goes for.
Yeah, it's kind of funny now that the MLS is becoming a selling league versus a retirement league, if you will. But
that's a good thing, right? I mean, that's a progression, right?
I mean, it is. But for a fan perspective, you don't want to see all the talent be sold out of the league, right? You would prefer them to stay there so you can see the talent on the pitch.
Agreed. But in most modern major sports, with free agency, the talent that you like a lot will leave no matter what, and they might stay in the NFL, but they'll end up playing against you. So am I more sad that Sergio or whoever is gone and I'm not going to see him play at all? Or would I be just as sad or more mad if he just left and went and played for someone else in the MLS? So I don't know, man.
I think the one issue with the selling, and I think it's going to continue to happen, that it started this year with the Tati Castellanos move. And I guess this could also be a way larger discussion for another time, but with MLS being on a different yearly schedule than the rest of the world for the most part, it kind of sets the MLS up for some difficult situations where a lot of their biggest players and stars, like Tati Castellanos, this year was arguably the best striker and maybe the best player in all of MLS, and he left mid-season. And I think that is really where the selling league could be a problem. Is like you could lose a lot of stars halfway through the year when it's like, man, they could have stayed on a big run. And so I think that's where MLS needs to look at, like, do we switch to a European schedule?
Yeah, maybe. But the problem with that
is a great point. I never thought about that, Brian, at all. But the idea that they could leave mid-season. That shouldn't happen in the others. They're not leaving mid-season.
Yeah.
Well, technically, even if they followed the European model, they could in the winter transfer market. But
but it's a smaller window, you know.
Yeah. But I guess my point, what I was going to say is the only problem with that is like MLS kind of, I feel, picked the summer months because there was less sports to compete with, right? And then teams like us that share the stadium with the Panthers and that kind of stuff. Do we want to see the yellow lines all season long? I don't personally.
Hell no.
Right? But, you know, it would be nice, though, not to stand out there and be 100 degrees outside and you're trying to have a couple of beers and have a good time and just be dehydrated as hell, too. So, see, I mean, I agree with the other league. So but then it's like, I mean, that's when they start putting stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could argue that all day long.
It's a long discussion it would take way longer than
Taylor for all season.
Their freaking lens, and just because Esteban asked, I'm not saying the MLS has it against COTFC. I'm saying it feels like a lot of the refereeing decisions have gone against us, and when they shouldn't have, right? I mean, so and then Tyler wants to buy that bobblehead off you, so and I think that's the thing is the weather. I mean, you got to think about that, right? It's even like if you start thinking about Canada and stuff too, right? In the winter, it's
hey, bro, I'll be in Montreal tomorrow, so you tell me what I need to do to somehow help us out.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow is the first day of fall. So, you might get started.
I think on Friday, I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be a high of like 52 on Friday, a low of 40.
Damn. Hold on a second. These people paid $150 for your bobblehead. I would have sold you mine for $149, man.
What?
Yep. And then
I need to give me a bobblehead. I need to make some cash.
Mine's still in the box, man. I'm just waiting. I'm moving at some point. I don't know when it's coming up.
Hey, dude, keep it in the box, man, if you want to sell it.
Yeah,
I can't. I will never sell it, man. I would never sell it. But if anybody has one, man, if you got an extra one, man, hook the Yeti Boys up, man. They need one, man. And appreciate my buddy here under his alias. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that name, but he's the one that hooked me up. And then oh shit. Somebody, what's this guy doing? Get the hell out of here. I thought you was at the airport. Get out of here.
Oh no, it's cool, man. He's giving me a bobblehead.
Yeah, that's it. Well, grab two so that you can hook up the Yeti Boys, Top Ben. You got the connections, man. So,
right. Top Ben's sitting on a bin of bobbleheads.
Yeah. He was
or at least he'll tell us that.
Yeah. So, hashtag tickets if you want to enter tonight's drawing. It's winner's choice. You can pick from Adam's portfolio, Defend the Queen there. So, right. And so let's talk about these tickets, man. Right. Well, we can talk about Philly. We've got 2 weeks to talk about Philly, basically. But yeah, so
you touched on Philly. We've done enough for Philly.
Yeah. So these ticket prices, everybody got the renewals today, right? There was a lot of I don't know. A lot of I don't want to say disappointment, maybe surprise, right? What are you doing, JT?
I'm trying to read my email about the ticket prices, man.
Yeah, so I was talking to a coworker, and he sits just outside the supporter section. So, kind of like in the corner. I think his went up about 6 to 7% in price overall. We did the math, right? It wasn't just we were aware that there's supposed to be an extra game in there, right? With the new cups that's coming in next year with MX and all that, and and the supporter fee has been there, It was $50 per ticket, but basically that money goes back into the supporters section for like the tifos, the smoke, and all that kind of stuff. So
The lawyers' fees.
yeah, whatever. So yeah, so like yeah, I mean, so there's been a lot of fussing and complaining.
Where the hell are their prices, man?
Well, you have
I don't see the prices at all.
pay your invoice or whatever. Act like you live there.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I mean, 10 to 20%. Some people saying, I mean, it's I don't know, right? The thing, I mean, inflation is happening, right? Regardless, I mean, it's everywhere. I don't know. I just sit in the supporter section, so it probably doesn't hit me as hard. But some of these folks that are over more in the club level and that sort of thing, I mean, they're seeing some ridiculous prices, and it's going to be interesting to see. Comments. What do y'all think?
I mean, I think that the bigger concern that stuck out to me was like, so I think when my wife showed me because she sent it to me earlier, and then there was like a weird credit. Like I think it was like I'm assuming that's for the 18th game they promised.
Yeah, because I think they were looking forward to, or they thought that we would get a cup game. Yeah, and we never did, so they gave us that credit back for that.
But I just feel like, I feel like how quietly they kind of went about that, and they like sold us on the 18th game. I think that was one of the things that really stuck out to me. It's kind of like hurt. I mean, besides the ticket prices going up, obviously, but I think the fact that they just kind of, slid in a quick little credit and just didn't really ever acknowledge like the fault in that. Like, hey, you said people were buying this many games, and that the fact that they never came through on that was one of the things that stuck out for me throughout the course of the season. And then to add heightened ticket prices, if some of them are up 20%, that's pretty wild. I don't
know if I just kind of looked at the people I knew and just talked to them that I could talk to, and like for me, I believe it works out to like, at least in the supporter section, I think the price went up about $3.25, like $3.25 a ticket per game, right? It was like
much for me.
It wasn't much, right? But like I said, once you start getting away from that supporters group section, right, you can see where that math comes in, and it gets a lot more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then again, I think I like what Atlanta did, where the people that bought the tickets that first season, they were kind of locked in on those prices, right? It was kind of like, hey, thanks for your loyalty. We'll show you some back. See, I mean, I think the same thing, right? But it's just, I don't know, man. This seems like it's going to be an annual bitch, right? Regardless, I think they're going to go up in prices. The problem is the prices reflecting what we're seeing on the pitch, right? So I don't know.
And the prices of just stuff in the stadium itself.
Yeah, so like even Coach says, right? I mean, you bought a area because you was like, all right, that's my price point, and then at some point, I believe what you're trying to say is you're going to get priced out if you want to sit, right? And so yeah.
It's definitely. I mean, that should be a concern for sure, especially long term as the seasons progress. If they do start to price people out. I mean, that's
the thing. Soccer's for the people, man. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's football is a people sport. All you need is a ball and two or something to have a goal, right? And you can make it in a game.
Well, and here's the thing, and they will learn this the hard way, because unlike NFL, MLB, all the other American sports, you can survive without season ticket holders in the supporter section and all that. You can't survive without that. I mean, think about how many single tickets they sold, like what, 4,000 single tickets a game.
Well, I think
survive without season ticket holders and supporter sections, and so if they do end up pricing them out, I mean, the club won't. I mean, they'll have to.
Well, I think a lot of people were saying, right, hey, like I after this first season of all seasons, I was able to go at game day and buy it like resale prices cheaper than what season ticket holders were buying their tickets for, right?
Dang.
But on the flip side of that, though, if we have a solid run at some point, right, the prices, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm going regardless, right? I love the sport.
Sure.
Charlotte's my team now. at my home team, so I'm definitely going to follow them. So I'm in the supporter section at least, right, until I can. And to answer this question, a lot of people have said this, right, to include the Chelsea as the 18th game. I don't think they could do that because
they couldn't do that.
I think the prices were determined by other people.
Well, no, it was a separate entity. I mean, it was like, it was its own thing. MLS, I'm assuming, wasn't getting a cut of that, maybe a little bit, but there's no way.
Yeah.
That was a special deal. That was not.
And to Yeti Clan, I mean, to get a discount or at least the same deal, and they're kind of trying to sell us on the fact there's perks with this. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, the one perk I would like was instead of giving me 10% off at the store on a Friday, make it just anytime I show up. I mean, how hard could that be, right? It's still the barcode you're scanning it.
10% off your first 3 visits to the store.
You get it in your you get it in your season tickets. There's a 10% coupon whenever you buy something, but it has to be a Friday between like 10 to 11. And it's not fair for the folks that live in Raleigh or Greensboro or wherever, right? I mean, you have to run down there at a certain time. I think it should just be whenever you walk in the store, you show them that barcode and get 10%. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to reach out.
Yes, marketing people.
Yes.
Marketing people, figure that out.
Yeah, right. And see, I mean, again, right, there's no great incentives to be a season ticket holder. You can get, I agree, right? So, and then Patrick saying his was 13.5%.
That's wild. That's a steep.
And then another one is 15%, right? It's supposed to be the community section, right? But they don't have those there. But anyways, right? It's and a lot more people will demand a winning product next season for sure. I think if they're going to follow this model of raising the ticket prices like this, and next season we have a similar season like we have now, I think it's going to be hard for them on the third season.
Do you think it has? I know we're getting really high on the topic, but do you think it has anything to do with inflation at all? You think they're going to throw that out there and be like, hey, listen, we've done this. If inflation wasn't so bad, but we had to move the scale up because the damn numbers, whatever.
I don't think it's 15%. I know
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, does inflation really affect the sport? Or maybe the concessions and that kind of stuff, but the players and the cost there, that's not going to affect. That's not done by inflation, right? That's just going to be whatever the market is. I think prices should be coming down then if inflation's high, right? And then the whole reason anyways.
That's bullshit.
I mean, the Apple free subscription, I mean, you can get that yourself. I mean, I get it for free anyways because of T-Mobile, and you can pay yourself like $5.99 a month, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
We can't even get into that yet. Damn.
Yeah. I'm just trying to read some of these comments. Well, people were more sensitive if the higher tickets price, if the team's payroll was more in the middle of the pack versus bottom 3 of the league. Again, I'm not comparing prices to the salary, right? I mean, the salary is what it is. The salary cap, what it is, right? I mean,
very confusing.
But I no, I'm going to say no. Because I mean, going back to Philly, right? I mean, Philly has one of the lowest in the league, and yet they're putting out one of the best products in the league. So I mean, there's always that, right? And
I think it comes down to like in those situations, and they've actually done it. It's just really under the radar right now. But like the Jose Tavares signing was a huge signing. He was like being looked at by a Premier League team to be a Premier League coach, and we got him to be like our MLS Next Pro coach. Yeah. So, and then like bringing in Brian Scales to be the head of director. I mean, he helped start New England's academy. So they have put in money and resources into other departments that just haven't shown themselves on the field yet. Because I mean, those academies going to take 5 years, right? I mean, Brian Romero is not going to be a factor for a couple of years at least.
Yeah, easy.
Right? And so, although I mean, when he is, it could be a huge thing in terms of excitement and everything else that can come with it. And more players like that could easily have. I mean, look at what Philly has done. I mean, they obviously haven't invested in the salary or in big transfers, but they have 4 guys who started for the U.S. Youth National Team U20s, started for them and qualified them for the Olympics. I mean, they're all going to be Olympians, right? I mean, they're all from Philadelphia Union. So there's other ways to also invest money. It just it's a matter of making sure that is happening and consistently.
100%. And Kansas is saying that 20% off all merch for Galaxy fans, even online for purchases. So, I mean,
Damn.
hell, yeah. We didn't need that comment, man. We're already down in it, man. But yeah, I mean, like I think it would be easy just to say, hey, give us 10% off if we're a season ticket holder at any time, right? 'Cause, I mean, you could be down in Charlotte having lunch with somebody or whatever, right? And you're like, I'm gonna swing by the store real quick, right? But anyways, so that's a lot of this ticket thing, man. I mean, we all understand that Tepper apparently is greedy, right? And we will balance support the new team in High Point. Yeah. So and again, right? Yes, they did. They went up quite a bit. So and Apple TV, MLS. Is that true? I mean, I would think if I have Apple TV Plus,
Ooh, that's true. I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, it will be. But if you're a season ticket holder, you get it
for free, anyways. Yeah,
and
you get it for free.
You need Apple
for 15% more price.
Yeah, you need Apple TV Plus, and then you need the MLS subscription. You need to have both.
Hey, you pay that 10% more, I'm gonna give you this code to watch all the MLS you want, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, and definitely there's a bunch of Twitter drama, man, if you haven't all read it. So anyways. But yeah, so we're kind of running long here. We can definitely pick up this ticket conversation later. If you haven't seen our interview we had with Nick Kelly back in the day about PSLs and tickets and that kind of thing.
Yeah, only but pretty.
I posted that earlier, so check it out. But with that being said, hashtag tickets if you want to enter in to tonight's drawing. And we'll give you guys a couple of seconds and we'll go ahead and do that. So, yeah, man, let's see here. Let's see if I can do this.
You can do it, Lee.
I can do it.
You can do it, man. You can do it.
All right. Hashtag tickets. But yeah, man,
last chance. Anyone just hashtags tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I see more than we got 17 inches, but I believe
if George wins it tonight, just give him to him since he wasn't on the show.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, he's just loving life, man. He's probably just sitting back and having a cold one.
Dude, he's working for some other corporation, working his ass.
Oh, we can continue to talk about it, man, if you want, man. It's I don't know, right? We normally try to keep.
That's one of the number one rules in entertainment. Keep them wanting more.
Oh, that's cool. I'm learning. Yeah, so. But yeah, if you're new to the show, go ahead and hit the sub button for us. Hashtag tickets. Last chance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice. Someone got in there really late.
That was Top Bin.
Yeah,
it was.
It's Kyle 87.
Nice.
That's it.
Not rigged.
Oh, it's gonna be rigged, man. It's all gonna be rigged, So yeah, that's it. Yep. Maybe we'll if we do a live show next week, we'll discuss it more in depth then. So I don't know, because Wednesday night's going to be that. Maybe we'll do our live show on Thursday. We'll talk about it and figure it out, JT, and we'll let everybody know and go from there. That's right. So Brian, man, appreciate you coming on the show. You are the face of Top Bin now, and you are my favorite Top Bin person. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case, Hey,
I just want to say, if Jorge is Top Bin 90, you're Top Bin 100 in my book.
Oh, that's it. That was it. Yeah. Well, Adam, you missed
in here.
Love you, Jorge.
Yeah, we do, man. Jorge's a good guy, man. If you haven't followed him on YouTube, he's really close to 1,000 folks. So go over to Top Bin 90 and hit that sub button for him.
Look at that, man. Sub that shit up, man.
Yeah. And if you're new to our show, obviously hit the sub button. Brian, man, where can people find you?
Yeah, y'all can find me on Twitter at BA Maurer, Bam Maurer Media.
Yep.
And you can also find me in my articles on topbin90.com. We've been writing out a lot of articles throughout the course of the season and got a lot more coming for the rest of the season and for the off season. We got some big plans coming for the off season as well. Transfer talk, everything like that.
That's what's up. And set your not set your fantasy team because there's no games this week. And Tyler, man, we love you too, buddy. So yeah. And so JT, man, where can people find us?
Well, you can find me in Montreal, Canada tomorrow. because I'm getting out for the first time in 3 years without my kids, man. Besides that, Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitter, CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans, as Brian would say. Damn it!
That's right. Brian is that man. He closes it out for us all. And so, yeah, hit the sub button. Hit the like button if you're already subbed. And, guys, we'll keep bringing the content as best we can. Peace.